Good morning, everyone. I hope that you are having an absolutely amazing day. Today, we're going to be talking about a new topic in our textbook. Our story this week deals with a subject that's quite heavy, meaning it's a hard subject to talk about. We're going to be talking about the Holocaust and reading a portion of the diary of Anne Frank. If you have not heard of Anne Frank, she was a young girl who was Jewish and lived in Holland during the Holocaust. Now, the Holocaust is a time when the Jewish people were persecuted or they were personally attacked by the Nazi Germans, during World War II. And a lot of these people were taken from their homes forcefully and sent to concentration camps. A concentration camp was a work camp characterized by extremely bad conditions. And many of the Jewish people that were sent to these concentration camps died of starvation, or they were executed, meaning they were intentionally killed. I know this is a hard subject, but it's important that you know this and know about this because this is a huge part of world history. And whenever we study something, and when we study and learn things, we should not just learn things that are close to us, but we should learn things and learn about people and the way they have suffered in the world so that we can learn from them and not make the same decisions. Now, the story we're reading is actually written by Anne Frank herself, and she was a young girl, meaning she was somewhere around like the age of 12, and she died at the age of 15. So keeping that in mind, this is a piece of her diary, and we know that a diary is something that you can write in every day, like a journal, and this is talking about her real life. It's talking about the hardships that she went through during this time, Now, before we begin, I'm going to introduce some vocabulary words to you. I already introduced one of the vocabulary words being concentration camp, The next word is persecuted. Now, persecuted means to treat someone in a cruel and unfair way, especially based on their race, their religion, or political beliefs. Now, persecution happens in our world all the time. We can see it anywhere around us, unfortunately. But it's important that we know the meaning of this, therefore we can avoid this and treat people equally the way they should be treated and the way they were created. Annex is our next word. An annex is a small room or rooms that was built in addition to or after something was already built. So if you see, maybe an annex might be that my room is already built, the room that I'm sitting in right now is already built, but maybe I want to add some small little portion to my room, another room. I might build some extra walls here, and then that would be considered an annex. It is an addition that was created after the building was already built, Jittery. Jittery is an adjective, and it describes a feeling that someone might be having. So you might feel jittery before you go into a test. It's a feeling of anxiousness, meaning your heart might be pounding. You're very nervous. You just don't know what else to do. So it's an adjective, jittery. It's a feeling of anxiousness. The next word is allies. Now, the Allies during World War II were the countries that opposed Germany and the Axis powers. So World War II was fought by two different groups of people. So we had the Allies and the Axis powers. Now, the Axis powers was consistent mainly of Germany and the people that fought with them, okay? And the Allies were, typically it was Britain, America, and a couple of the other countries, so France, that fought against the Axis powers, okay? So these were the people, the Allies were the people who were fighting to prevent Germany and the Axis powers from continuing this persecution of the Jewish people and of other people. Insight. Insight is our final word. And the word insight means it's a closer look at something else, okay? So if I say I am giving you an insight into somebody's life, it means I'm telling you something that gives you a closer look at what it might have been like for them. So this journal entry provides us with an insight into what life was like for Anne Frank during this time, okay? Now I want you to listen carefully, and we will see in our story that each day is divided, and she writes the date at the beginning of each date. So that's how we know that it's a new entry, meaning a new day, okay? And we are reading on page 81 of our textbook, okay? I'm going to read slowly, and I want you to follow along while I read. I am going to begin with the blue words at the top that give me some background information, okay? This is information I need to know to fully understand the story, okay? Once again, this is page 81 in your textbook. The Diary of a Young Girl. The year is 1942 in Holland during the Second World War. Jews are being persecuted by Hitler's Nazi army. The Frank family, who are Jewish, hide in Mr. Frank's office. With them is another Jewish family, the Van Dans, and their son, Peter. Anne, Mr. Frank's daughter, writes a diary about their lives in hiding. Anne's diary talks of the horror and the suffering that the Jews went through during the Second World War, which lasted from 1939 to 1945. Here is an extract or a piece from her diary. Saturday, 13th June, 1942. I got up early because it was my birthday. When I went into the dining room, I saw lots of presents kept on the table. However, the best of all was you, my diary. I had a wonderful day in school with my friends. Saturday, 20th June, 1942. I'm so happy to write in you. You will be my best friend. Do you know why? Because I haven't really got a friend, even though I have wonderful parents and a lovely older sister, Margot. Let me tell you about myself. I was born in Frankfurt in 1929. We are Jewish, and they say it is dangerous for us Jews in Germany. So we moved to Holland. It's horrible. There are new German laws that say all Jewish people need to wear a yellow star. We can only walk and not take public transport. We can only shop in special Jewish shops and only go to Jewish schools. We cannot go to theaters or be free. Sunday, 5th July, 1942. This is a hard time for Father because they have decided that he can't work in his business anymore. 2 other people have become managers. The other day, I got really worried because suddenly Father said to us that we might have to go to hiding soon. When he saw how worried I was, he tried to cheer me up and said everything would be fine soon. Wednesday, 8th July, 1942. Things are becoming unbearable. We heard the most terrible thing. We heard that the Germans might take Father away. That means they will take him to a concentration camp, and we might never see him again. I can't stop crying. Father and Mother are trying to work out a hiding place with Father's colleague, Mr. Van Daan. If this were a book, it would be exciting. However, this is real life, and it is very scary. Mother has told us to pack what we absolutely need. What am I going to pack? I've decided to take you my diary, and then some old letters, and my school books, of course. I think memories are more important than clothes and other things. I want to keep all my happy memories with me. We got up very early and put on lots of layers of clothes. It is dangerous to be seen carrying a suitcase, especially if you are a Jew. If they think you are escaping, they will arrest you immediately. Thursday, 9 July, 1942. We are going to hide in some small dark rooms at the top of Father's office. The rooms are quite hidden, right at the top near the attic. I call it our secret annex. There are small rooms for Margot and me, one for Father and Mother, which is also our living room, and there is another which functions as our kitchen. It is also Mr. and Mrs. Van Daan's bedroom. There is another tiny room for Peter, their son. Saturday, 11th July, 1942. Mother and Margot are very jittery. Yesterday, Mother forgot she had put the soup to cook, and it burnt black. None of us can be ourselves. We tried to listen to the news on the radio, but I begged Father to turn it off because someone might hear us. We've been told to be very quiet, especially at night. Friday, 14th August, 1942. I haven't written anything for a while. There's too much tension. Apparently, people think we are trying to escape to Switzerland. There are all kinds of rumors about us. Someone said they saw us getting into a train. Someone else said they saw us riding bikes. I just hope we are never found. But sometimes I wonder, will we live our entire lives here? Tuesday, 29th September, 1942. The worst thing about living here is that we don't have a bathroom. So we all have to take water and go into different rooms and clean ourselves in the dark. The only toilet is down in the office, so we can only use it at night or when the office is empty. Can you imagine how awful that can be? Friday, 9th October, 1942. We heard some terrible news today. Many of our Jewish friends were taken away by the Germans. I heard on the radio that Germans are killing Jews in concentration camps. The radio says they kill them with gas. I wonder if that is painful. Perhaps that is the best way to die. Let me tell you about our food here. We have managed to store hundreds of tins of fish, beans, and other foods. There is a man who secretly brings bread to us. Tuesday, 17th November, 1942. We have a new member in our little family. Mr. Dussel, a dentist, has come to live with us. He brought us news of the outside world, and it's terrible. The Germans have taken away many Jews. Jeeps and cars go around all day and night and simply arrest any Jewish person they see. They knock on doors of even non-Jewish homes to see if there are any Jews hidden somewhere. I cannot even begin to imagine it. So many families are being torn apart. Sometimes when children come home from school, they find that their parents have been taken away. There are bombs and aeroplanes flying overhead. I heard that the rest of the world, called the Allies, is trying to stop the Germans from this madness. It seems like the war has taken over the whole world. We are lucky to be in our little annex. We simply wait till it all gets over. Wednesday, 10th March, 1943. All through last night there was gunfire. I got into Father's bed. I was so frightened. No one can sleep well because of the air raids and the bombs. All of us have become bad-tempered and are always quarreling. Sunday, 13th June, 1943. It's been a year since I got you, dear diary. It is my birthday again. Everybody has gotten me something small. I wish I could be outside and free. When I see the moon and clouds, I feel happy for some time. Maybe someday life will become normal again. Anne Frank and her family lived in hiding for 2 years. They were discovered by the Germans and taken away to different camps. Anne died at the age of 15. Her diary was found and has become well known for the insights it gave into the lives and the hardships of Jews during the Second World War. Now I know this was heavy, but I want you to take something away from it. That the way we treat people is extremely important. Make sure that anytime you talk with someone or you do anything, you do it with love. Everything we do should be done with love, so that things like this don't happen in the world again. Have a great day. I hope that while this was a hard story to read, I hope that the rest of your day is beautiful. See you soon.